Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today I'm going to elaborate the topic of forests and it is according to the O-level syllabus. If you have not subscribed my channel, do subscribe it, like the videos and share it with your family and friends. Thank you. First of all, we'll see that what are the main types of forest. We have productive forest and protection forests. Productive forests are basically covers 1/3 of Pakistan forests. They are mainly natural forest and tree density is very high and canopy is very closed to each other, and it has a high value timber. But the protection forests are covers 2/3 of Pakistan forest line, and they are the linear plantations. They are usually alongside the roads, railway lines and canals and rivers. They have mostly low value and protect soil from erosion. Now, if we talk about the importance of forest, it prevents soil erosion, it provides timber for construction and industries, it provides us raw material for wood, plants used in pharmaceutical industries, it also reduces pollution, and it provides the natural habitat, life to the natural habitat as well. Forests serve as a source of income. Yes, we can generate income from the forest as well. How? Because the trees supply wood for various industries, including the production of sports goods, furniture, paper, and more on. And then the forest yield timber and firewood, offering the potential for substantial earnings through the sale of these wood products. Resin and gum from these forests can be acquired for use in chemical industries. The forest harbor medicinal herbs and plants that can be sold to pharmaceutical industries. It also attracts tourism. Products crafted from the wood can be sold to tourists. Employment opportunities can be increased. There are different types of forest like Alpine Forest, Coniferous Forest, Riverine Forest, Tropical Thorn or Dry Scrub Forest, Subtropical thorn or bush forest, man-made irrigated forest, and mangroves. These all types are available in Pakistan, and we are only concerned with these types, and I'm going to elaborate you one each type in detail. First of all, let's see the alpine forest. They are short trees because of poor exposure of sun and heavy snowfall and very low temperature, because they are found at greater heights near the snow line in upper parts of Gilgit-Baltistan province, and it is used for firewood only because they have very less exposure to the sun, so the growth is minimal. Then we have coniferous forest. They are extensively distributed in the mountainous areas at heights lower than alpine forest in Gilgit-Baltistan as well, KPK, Upper Punjab, northwestern Balochistan, like in Quetta and Ziyarat. It has special adaptation feature which allows them to survive at low temperature in the mountainous area. And what is this special adaptation feature? That firmly held roots to ensure survival against winds. It has tall rounded trunk to reach out the sun, downward sloping branches to prevent snow accumulation, cone shaped covering of fruit to protect the seeds, thin needle shaped leaves to reduce water loss through transpiration, resinous barks, yani ki lachkili barks that cannot be taken away by stormy winds. Now you can see these types of forest when you are going in Galyat region in Pakistan, in Murray, in Nathia Gali and so on. The uses of these forests are to provide wood for various industries, provide natural habitat for the wildlife, it increases the scenic beauty, reduces the pollution, provide firewood, it attracts rain, it defends against the floods and reduce soil erosion. Now the next one are the riverine or Bella forest. They found along Indus and its tributaries as linear plantations. It has high yielding commercial hardwood varieties. Uses की बात करें तो it checks over the flow of water of river and it strengthens the soil. It provides wood for furniture and agricultural tools. Now, if we talk about the tropical thorn or dry or scrub forest, it found in plains of Punjab, Sindh and southwestern Balochistan, have low height, thorny hardwood with deep roots. It has limited growth due to water deficiency, therefore poor quality thorny wood. It is used as firewood only. Now, if we talk about this subtropical thorn bush forest, they are found on hills and foothills of Potwar region, lower Himalayas, Suleiman and Keithar ranges, parts of western mountains like Waziristan, Peshawar, Kohat and Mardan, and above the Makran coast range. If we talk about the uses of these both forests, which are almost the same, they provide firewood and used as a grazing purposes for the animals, and protect the area of union of two rivers. They protect the watershed actually. Now, if we talk about man-made or irrigated forest, it is developed in several parts of Pakistan like Changamanga near Lahore, Jallo Forest at Lahore, and national parks in Pakistan. In Thal area, it is also there in Thal area, in Chichavatni, on some barrages like Gudu Barrage, Shisham, Babul and eucalyptus trees are the main species which are used. The uses of these kind of man-made forests are provide valuable species for timber, provide firewood, it cleans the environment, lower the local temperature, and also provides the scenic beauty. But there are some disadvantages as well, like it's a long-term investment as most of the species take 5 to 15 years to grow fully. It has limited value addition, mainly timber, furniture, sports goods industry. It has a lack of land for agriculture and industry due to growing population. Problems of leaves, especially during autumn, and roots as they grow haphazardly in all directions and may come out on the land surface. Then the most important one is, and the technical one is, the mangroves. Mangroves is basically the type which is found at Indus Delta, Sindh coast and Hat Delta on Makran and Balochistan coast. The roots are exposed and bathed by the water of distributaries of Indus and Arabian Sea. It has a mechanism to filter out all the excess salt that enables them to live in a mix of fresh and salty water, like fish fresh of Indus water and salty water of Arabian Sea. So they can live in both of the types of water. Broad leaves with dip tips are the main feature. The leaves had the leathery texture to reduce transpiration. They have low height and stunt growth, about 6 to 8 feet. Now, if we talk about the uses, it provides firewood, provides timber to control, provides timber to the coastal communities. The leaves provide fodder for camels and nutrition to the fish, check on the tidal waves, prevent erosion on the coast, and absorb earthquake or tsunami shocks as well to some extent. Provide habitat for fish and shrimps, provide breeding ground for fish and shrimps, and also protect them for predators. Now, there are some natural features of mangroves, that mangrove trees possesses mechanisms that allow them to flourish in saline environments. The inner tissues of these trees demonstrate a significant resilience to the salt, and the surplus salt is transported to the leaves and expelled onto their surface. Their roots act as filters, extracting a majority of salt from the water they absorb. But why mangroves survive? How they survive in the salt water? This is the question. So actually, it has high tolerance to salt. Roots function as filters, and excess salt is carried to the leaves, which gives them a leathery texture. Now, if we talk about the disadvantages and limitations of the forest, we can see that a significant workforce is necessary to make and maintain a man-made forest. Establishing an irrigated forest requires a substantial investment, and the returns are not immediate due to the slow growth of the trees. It takes years to get the growth. Land allocated for the forest development is withdrawn from the cultivation. So it requires a lot of land as well. Now, if we talk about the conservation and sustainable development of mangroves, we can see that the coastal ecosystem, it provides sufficient shelter for them and to the shrimps and fish, and it is very essential for the growth of the marine habitat. It works as a barrier against the tropical cyclones, and a lot of work is done by WWF and other NGOs in Pakistan for the preservation of the conservation of the mangroves. There are some mangrove species which are found in the Indus Delta. I have put a picture over here. Then very important question, that is the forest products. What are the forest products? There are some major products and there are some minor products. Major products includes timber and fuel wood, and the minor products are resin, musri, ephedra. Ephedra is kind of a medicinal herb, but there are many medicinal herbs which we can find from the forest, from different types of forests. After that, there is another question which is called determinants. What are the determinants? Actually, these are the factors that determine the type and density of the forest. What kind of a forest should be grown where? Number one is altitude. Altitude of an area determines that what kind of a forest should be made there. For example, if on a greater heights, you cannot plant a tree which is grown in the Indus plains. You have to pick out the species which is made for the coniferous forest or the alpine forest. Then level of precipitation. What is the amount of rainfall that particular area is receiving? Aridity. What kind of a soil is there? What kind of land is there? It is too barren, it has a moisture content or not. Then it is edaphic factor. Edaphic factor means the type of the soil. It is a loamy soil, it is a porous soil. So according to that edaphic factor, we need to plant the trees. Now, what are the ways to reduce the soil erosion? There are different ways. Now let's see the ways to reduce soil erosion. There is one way, the strip farming. Strip farming is an agricultural technique where alternated strips of different crops are grown across a field. This method helps prevent soil erosion and enhances water retention by creating barriers against the wind and water runoff. It is a conservation practice designed to promote sustainable land management. So you can grow more crops in the same field in stripes, strip farming. Now, terrace farming, it is a method of cultivating in hilly or mountainous areas where a series of flat areas resembling steps or terraces are built into the slopes. This technique helps reduce soil erosion, control water runoff, and provide level surfaces for agriculture or otherwise steep terrain. Terrace farming is an ancient practice because it employed to make challenging landscapes more suitable for cultivation. For example, you can see it in our hilly areas. Then we have contour plugging. Contour plugging is an agricultural technique where plugging is done parallel to contour lines of land. This method helps reduce soil erosion on slopes by slowing down water runoff, allowing water to infiltrate and minimizing the formation of channels that can lead to soil loss. Contour plugging is an effective soil conservation practice, particularly on hilly terrain. Now, next one is causes of the deforestation, that why there is a deforestation in Pakistan. Rapid pace of urbanization is there due to a very high population growth rate. Clearance of land for roads, houses, industries, growing crops, building reservoirs, and for mining purposes, the land is clear. Overgrazing by livestock like sheep, goats, and cattle, especially on hills and foothills, they graze the land. Use of wood as a fuel by about 50% of the population, because natural gas is depleting day by day and it is not available for everyone. Wood for various local and foreign industries like sports goods, construction, and truck bodies. Illegal cutting of trees for local market and smuggled mainly to different neighboring countries, and it is neglected by the concerned authorities, which further aggravates the problem. Now, what are the effects of deforestation? It has serious and harmful effects on the environment, because it creates the loss of scenic beauty, it creates the soil erosion, surface runoff that can cause destructive floods and landslides, of course. Then what are the solutions to the problems caused by the deforestation? Afforestation. So the solutions are reuse and recycle. Timber provides natural gas and irrigation facilities to the areas. Plant selective commercial species. Strict enforcement of forest laws should be there. There should be reserved land for fuel wood plantations only, means over there in those reserved lands only fuel wood plantations should be done, so it can be cut down. Launch rural, urban, and mountainous forestry schemes, ensure sustainable forestry, so it can be provided to us and for the future generations as well. There should be aggressive awareness campaigns should be done on the regular basis to prevent cutting of trees. Now, what is deforestation? There are three actually types, like deforestation, afforestation, and reforestation, and I'm going to tell you the difference between these three. Deforestation basically is the cutting down of trees in the forest in a large number, and Pakistan has the second highest deforestation rate in Asia. Then afforestation refers to the act of planting trees in areas where there was no forest previously. For example, Mangla and Tarbela Dam Watershed Management Program, Rachna Doab Afforestation Project, and a project in Gilgit-Baltistan by Aga Khan Rural Support Program. Then we have reforestation. Reforestation is the process of replanting trees in areas where forests have been depleted or cleared. For example, Billion Tree Tsunami Project. So I hope these three terms are clear to you. What are the limitations of afforestation? Afforestation involves planting trees in uncultivated and underdeveloped areas. The process aims to establish new forest, with trees typically taking 10 to 20 years or more to mature economically. Afforestation is concerned a long-term investment due to the time required for trees to reach economic value. The challenges that may arise in addressing the issue of deforestation. There are different challenges. A considerable amount of labor force is required. There are certain areas which face security concerns in some areas of Pakistan. More land is required for housing, roads, industry, and agriculture. Forestry is a long-term project, long-term undertaking, and the government has limited capital available for these kind of projects, and they don't prioritize the need of the forests. Sustainable forestry. Sustainable forestry basically is the term that sustainable forest management aims for consistent resource extraction while preserving the natural environment so it can be available for the future generations. Replacement of the cutted plant is very important. Every felled tree should be substituted with a sapling from the nursery, and maintain a balance by not cutting trees faster than they can naturally mature. Accounting for climate induced variations in maturity. For example, if trees takes 10 years to mature, limit annual cutting to no more than 1/30th of that forest. If forest areas are cleared, new areas must be planted to ensure continuous support and replenishment. Now, what are the government measures to promote forestry in Pakistan? The Ministry of Environment, Local Government and Rural Development conducts biannual planting campaigns in spring and monsoon seasons. Preservation efforts include maintaining existing forest areas, preventing the removal of reserve forest, and avoiding conversion to other land uses. Forestry and non-forestry incentives are provided to promote private sector involvement. An improved institutional network is being created to support these initiatives. Efforts focus on stabilizing the forest industry and encouraging private sector engagement in forestry. Various federal and provincial forestry projects are actively underway. Planting more trees on a community and farmland is a priority. The industry and private sector are encouraged to establish commercial plantations. Rehabilitation of depleted and bare forest lands is purchased through natural and artificial regeneration. Public awareness on natural conservation is promoted through mass media seminars and workshops. Public forest and unused land in watersheds should be managed as a part of general forest. And measures include reducing grazing and fuel wood cutting in mangroves and other forests. So these are the major awareness things, or the measures government should promote, how government should take up the issue of the forest. I hope the main points of this chapter are clear to you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.